Why would a capable man marry into his wife's family?
Uncle.
Shumo, did he trick you? You've earned so much money, don't let him cheat you out of it.
Yeah, he's so handsome. He's not a kept man, is he? Shumo, your younger brother is waiting for you to support him through college. Don't use your brother's college fund to support a moocher.
Your whole family are freeloaders. My Mu Yang would never be a kept man. What do your family's matters have to do with me and my family? If you have a child, you raise it yourself. If you can't afford to raise them, don't have them.
Hainu, what kind of talk is that? Your brother is the heir of the Shu family. The Shu family's future glory depends on your brother.
Chawa is the true root of the Su family. Who does your son think he is? Hainu. Listen to your uncle's advice. Don't give your money to others. Keep it for your own nephew.
Screw you all. Get out of here. You're not welcome here.
Why are you so upset? It's none of your business. They don't support their own children, which constitutes abandonment. According to Article 261 of the Criminal Law, punishable by up to 5 years in prison, detention, or surveillance. If they intend to unlawfully take possession, use violence, coercion, or other methods against you or your family, and forcibly take away property belonging to you or your household, according to Article 263 of the Criminal Law, it constitutes the crime of robbery, punishable by 3 to 10 years of imprisonment and a fine, in serious cases, punishable by 10 years to life imprisonment or death, along with a fine or confiscation of property. They can choose whichever they like, freely choose, you can't take away their right to choose.
I didn't know Mu Yang was so talented. If only this rented boyfriend could be real. My name is Shumo, earning $1 million a year. I've got looks, money, but no man a typical older leftover woman. Since I'm an only child, my relatives think our family line has ended. Luckily my parents aren't sexist, and they've always doted on me, until years after I graduated. Not only haven't I gotten married, I don't even have a boyfriend. Today, my mom called me again.
When exactly are you bringing a boyfriend home?
Oh, Mom, stop pressuring me. I promise I'll bring one home this year, okay? Sai, what should I do? Jing, my mom's nagging me about marriage again. If worst comes to worst, I'll rent a boyfriend to go home and deal with it. Just don't know where to rent one.
Why waste the money? I happen to have a cousin nobody wants. Lend him to you for a few days, free of charge.
A few days? What was I thinking?
By the way, Sumo, my cousin happens to be at the coffee shop downstairs. Go meet him. I've got things to do. Gotta go.
What? So sudden? Oh well, might as well give it a shot. Let's go.
Jing.
Muyang, you're at the cafe, right?
Yeah.
Did you see the message I sent you? That thing I mentioned last time, that college classmate of mine, Sumo, you remember, right? Her family is really pressuring her to get married. I told her, you're just a cousin nobody wants. Let her borrow you to go back home for a few days to deal with it.
Nobody wants me.
What? You got a problem?
No, sure.
She'll be here any minute. Don't spill all the family secrets as soon as you open your mouth. Just play along with her.
Got it.
Muyang, don't scare her off.
Don't worry.
This is Jinjing's cousin that nobody wants.
Hello. You're Shumo, right? Please, have a seat.
Thanks.
What would you like to drink?
A latte is fine.
Hello. 2 lattes. My cousin told me about your situation. I can help you. I only have one condition. When my parents come back to the country, just accompany me to have a meal with them.
1 meal. No problem, 10 meals are fine too. No way, Shumo, you're way too eager when you see a handsome guy.
Then it's settled. Tomorrow, I'll go back to your hometown with you as your boyfriend. We'll come back after the new year.
Deal. Muyang, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
You're such a good catch. Why are you still single?
Just waiting for the right person. Rather be alone than settle.
I see. All right then, tomorrow, I'll pick you up after work.
Okay, I'll send you my address. Off work?
Yeah, just left. I'm coming to pick you up now.
Okay, be careful. I'll wait for you.
Heading to destination. Estimated travel time 25 minutes.
Let's go. There's a rest stop ahead.
Home. We'll rest at the rest stop tonight. And head home tomorrow.
Okay.
Tell me about yourself. You can't come to my house and I know nothing about you.
What do you want to know?
Basic info. How many people in your family? What do you do? Where did you go to school? Basically, everything has to match what I can find out. My dad is really good at checking backgrounds.
My family immigrated when I was in high school. I did my graduate studies abroad, came back after graduation. Now I'm a technical consultant at an auto company.
What about your personality?
I'm a homebody. I have a lot of hobbies. I know a little bit of everything.
Age?
25.
25.
What's wrong?
Nothing. I'm 28.
I know.
I'm 3 years older than you.
A woman 3 years older brings good fortune.
The problem is, how do I get my parents to believe someone like you would be interested in me, and even with marriage as the premise?
They'll believe it. Trust me.
Hope everything goes well. Let me briefly talk about myself. We'll chat more on the way. My family lives in an old town area of a small city. The pace of life is slow, it's quite livable. But my parents are very traditional. They think having only one daughter means the family line ends, so their expectations for a son-in-law are through the roof. Don't be overwhelmed by their enthusiasm when you get there.
No problem.
Go for it.
Let me drive, you take a break.
Okay, let's go. After a long journey, we're almost there. I see an arch at the entrance. It's bright red and shiny, visible from far away. Every year, during festivals or happy occasions, villagers set up arches to celebrate. The bigger the festival, the more arches, the more spectacular. I excitedly told Mu Yang about our village's great traditions. But as we drove in, I immediately stopped smiling. On the arch was a line of golden text, celebrating our daughter Shu Mo and her boyfriend returning home for New Year. My first reaction was that my parents embarrassed me. Is it too late to turn back now? Too late, because I already see my mom up ahead. After getting out of the car, my mom completely ignored me and walked eagerly toward the driver's seat. Mom, this is Mu Yang. I awkwardly introduced to Mu Yang, who had already gotten out. Auntie.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Please come in.
My mom treated Mu Yang like I would treat the god of wealth. She warmly pulled Mu Yang into the house, afraid he might run away. Mom, there's still stuff in the car. I shouted.
Take them yourself.
My mom replied without even looking back. I looked at the full trunk, lost in thought. At least Mu Yang wasn't as heartless as my biological mother. He came back to help me move my stuff. Then the scene when my parents met Mu Yang.
It was like they found their long-lost son.
They nearly hugged each other with tears of joy. And I was like a forgotten concubine, just left out in the cold, and even seemed to be in the way. But I have to admit, Mu Yang's acting and social skills were impressive. He didn't show any impatience or disdain at all. He even apologized, saying, "Uncle, Aunt, I wanted to visit you earlier, but I was afraid it might be too abrupt, so I kept putting it off. I hope you don't mind."
No, it's all Shumo's fault. She didn't tell us sooner.
My mom replied with a big smile, and while saying that, she even slapped me on the shoulder. If I were pregnant, that slap would have knocked the baby out. My dad started making tea and chatting with Mu Yang casually, but it was clearly not just casual talk. I think my dad planned to dig up every detail of Mu Yang's family, as if afraid I'd be taken advantage of. "Dad, we just got back," I hinted softly. "You should rest if you're tired. I can chat with Mu Yang." Dad didn't even turn around. Mu Yang drove for several hours.
It's okay, I'm not tired. You go rest. Mu Yang replied with a smile.
Before I could even catch a break, my mom told me to help her feed the chickens. Me, a financial director making $1 million a year, and she's got me feeding chickens. In the end, I just resigned myself and went. Back in the countryside, you have to work. No matter who you were before, or how much you made. Of course, feeding the chickens was just an excuse. My mom was really trying to get information about Mu Yang.
How long have you two been seeing each other?
A year. I replied without even flinching.
Have you been to Mu Yang's place?
Not yet. Of course, I have to wait until you and Dad give the thumbs up before I go to his place. Otherwise, if you guys object, it would all be for nothing. I just had to make something up. To my surprise, my mom didn't look happy at all. Instead, she worriedly muttered, I'm afraid he won't want you. She even brought up how many relationships Mu Yang had before. Why would he choose me? She asked about everything, no detail too small. I couldn't answer most of them. I had to make stuff up to get by. It was more exhausting than dealing with a difficult client. After feeding the chickens, my mom even caught a chicken with lightning speed, saying it was to nourish Mu Yang. And I, who hadn't been home in ages, never got that treatment. When I got home, I saw that Dad and Mu Yang weren't home. I quickly called Mu Yang, worried something might happen to him. If anything happened to him, how could I face Jinjing? Mu Yang laughed on the phone and said Uncle took him for a walk, they'd be back soon. I casually told him to be careful, and didn't think much of it, because my mom had already killed a chicken, and asked me to help pluck the feathers. Mu Yang and my dad came back at dusk. Dinner was already ready, just waiting for them. I found a chance to ask Mu Yang where my dad had taken him that afternoon, and if he'd given him a hard time. Not only did Mu Yang say no, he said he and my dad got along really well. I seriously doubted Mu Yang was talking about the same person, because in my memory, my dad was always a serious, unsmiling man, especially strict with me. Even to this day, I'm still closer to my mom, and I tell her everything. During dinner, my dad said to Mu Yang, let's have a drink. Before Mu Yang could answer, I said, Dad, Mu Yang, he's not much of a drinker. I was afraid if he drank too much, our secret would come out. What if my parents find out I rented a boyfriend to come home? They'd kill me. But Mu Yang actually went and undercut me.
It's a rare opportunity. Let me have a few drinks with Uncle. It's nothing.
Mu Yang is really generous.
My dad praised him. And so, Mu Yang chatted with my dad over drinks, while I ate without tasting, nervous and worried, afraid Mu Yang would slip up after drinking too much. I thought Mu Yang only had to deal with my dad. Turns out I was naive. Before long, my uncle, aunt and my other uncle and aunt all showed up. Turns out my dad took Mu Yang around to visit relatives that afternoon. Visiting was just an excuse, showing off was the real motive. And sure enough, in the evening, relatives came to ask about my marriage, or rather, to check things out. After all, my uncle's families had sons, so grandparents always favored them, while my parents only had me, a daughter, so our family has faced discrimination since I was little.
Mu Yang, how long have you and our Blackie been together?
Aunt asked nosily. Aunt directly used my childhood nickname that I hate, without any regard for my dignity. Mu Yang looked at me in confusion. Blackie, it's my nickname. I explained, frustrated.
That nickname doesn't fit at all. You're so beautiful, you should be called a beauty. Mu Yang said seriously in front of the relatives. Then he turned and replied. He had been chasing Sumo for over a year, until the end of last year. She finally agreed to date me.
I looked at Mu Yang, full of admiration. Mu Yang really could lie without even needing a draft. It just came naturally to him.
Are you serious about our Blackie? Do you plan to get married?
Third aunt asked next.
As long as Sumo is willing, we can get the marriage certificate right away.
Mu Yang held my hand, smiled and replied.
You're so good looking, don't you mind that he's older?
Third uncle followed up. I was about to get angry when I heard Mu Yang reply.
Old? I think for me, just right.
In that moment, I fell in love. I was smitten.
You're a car consultant? Is that fixing cars? Salary can't be high, right? After marriage, will you live in Beijing or come back to our countryside?
Uncle fired off a string of questions. It's really not that high. After tax, it's only a bit over 200,000.
Mu Yang humbly replied.
That's not much either. Averaged out, it's less than 20,000 a month.
Third uncle commented with a strange tone. I just rolled my eyes.
For Mu Yang's age, this salary level isn't low. Then I heard Mu Yang add, I meant monthly salary.
Everyone was stunned for a moment, including me, because I didn't expect Mu Yang's salary to be so high. I already thought mine was high, but he's much higher than me. But then I thought, Mu Yang was just exaggerating to save face for me. But setting the bar so high from the start, how am I ever going to find a boyfriend now? If the condition is lower than this, wouldn't I get roasted by uncle and third uncle's families if I bring someone home?
Is it this high every month? Or just some months? But salaries are high in big cities, and the work pressure is also great. I heard that 996 work culture can easily cause sudden death or something. Too dangerous. We ordinary folks just want a stable life.
Uncle sounded quite sour. Watching them all wish I'd never get married, or the look on their faces hoping I'll find a lousy man, makes me want to kick them out. I don't care what kind of relatives they are, these aren't relatives, they're practically enemies. No wonder my brother married a jobless wife, The midnight hours truly are the most peaceful. I nodded in agreement.
What do you know? Wanzi is studying for the civil service exam now.
Uncle got angry all at once.
Studying in a nightclub, I blurted out in response. The next second, my mom dragged me to the kitchen to wash vegetables.
Don't mind what they say. You know how they are. They laugh at the poor and fear the rich.
Mom rarely has the patience to persuade me. She's just afraid I'll blow things up. Still, you shouldn't have said that to Muyang. I said, speechless. Good thing Muyang is my fake boyfriend. If he were real, they'd have scared him off. Just thinking about it makes me mad.
Later, explain to Muyang. They're like that. Tell him not to take it to heart. After you get married, you'll move out, and you won't have to see these relatives' faces.
Mom can't do anything about it. I think they'd be glad if I never married.
They don't wish you'd never get married. They wish that after you marry, our family's property would go to them. They're afraid you'll find someone too capable, whom they can't compete with.
I'm married. Why should our family's property go to them? I looked at my mom and asked in shock, can't I keep it for myself? Why should outsiders covet it? Why should outsiders covet it?
It's because we only have you, a daughter. After you marry, the land and house won't be yours anymore?
They wish. I'm married. I'll take you and Dad to live with me. The land and house here will stay empty, not for them, they're ours, and after you and Dad pass away, they'll be mine. They don't get a say. If they try anything, I'll call the cops and sue them. By now I was fuming. I turned and walked out of the kitchen, ready to kick those shameless relatives out. No matter who they were, I heard Muyang say with a smile, if Shumo agrees, I'd even marry into the family. I was dazed, tripped on the threshold, almost fell flat on my back, but Ma Yang reached out and caught me, so I didn't make a fool of myself.
Careful. Muyang smiled at me and cautioned.
I stared at him blankly. If before it was love, now I was head over heels.
You're marrying into the family. Your parents won't object.
Uncle is getting anxious. He's anxious, but I calmed Muyang down and sat beside him and said with a smile, how could they object? Ma Yang's parents are very open-minded, and they've already settled abroad. Whether Ma Yang marries into the family or not makes no difference, as long as we visit them when we have time. Muyang smiled and nodded.
How could a capable man marry into the family? Shumo, are you being fooled by him? You've earned so much money, don't let him cheat you out of it.
Yeah, he's so good looking, could he be a freeloader? Shumo, your brother is waiting for you to put him through college. Don't use his college money to support a freeloader. Your whole family can be freeloaders. My Muyang would never be one. What do your and their affairs have to do with me and my family? If you have a child, raise it yourself. If you can't afford it, don't have one.
I got so angry I jumped up and yelled back.
Blackie, what kind of talk is that? Your brother is Shu family's blood. The Shu family's future glory depends on him. Third uncle retorted.
Chawa is the true heir of the Shu family. What's your son compared to him? Hey Niu, listen to your uncle. Don't give the money to anyone else. You must leave it for your own nephew.
You think I'm raising you? Screw that. Get out of here, all of you. I said furiously. The scene then got a bit chaotic, because I had reached my limit, so I grabbed a broom from the corner and started chasing them out. Muyang pulled me aside and said gently, what are you in such a hurry for?
It's none of your business. They don't support their own child, which constitutes abandonment. According to Article 261 of the Chinese criminal law, they face up to 5 years in prison, detention, or surveillance. If they, with the intent to unlawfully possess, use violence, threats, or other methods against you or your family, and forcibly take property belonging to you or your family, according to Article 263 of the criminal law, it constitutes robbery, punishable by 3 to 10 years in prison, and a fine. In serious cases, the penalty is over 10 years, life imprisonment, or death, along with a fine or confiscation of property. They can choose whichever article they like. Free choice. You can't deprive them of that right.
Everyone was stunned, staring at Muyang. For a moment, no one could react, wondering what he meant by that. I burst out laughing. I didn't expect Muyang to be so clever, but he didn't know, sometimes when a scholar meets a soldier, reason can't always win, right?
What are you saying?
Uncle was the first to snap out of it and ask.
I passed the bar exam last year, and I have my legal professional qualification certificate. That means, if you force Shu Mo and his family to do anything they're not willing to do, and it involves any illegal or criminal activity, I'd be happy to serve as their lawyer for free.
We're family, shouldn't we help each other out? What nonsense are you talking about?
Shu Mo and I are planning to buy a wedding house during the new year. We're in a bit of a hurry, so how about you help us out first?
I have no money. Someone earning millions a year is borrowing money from me.
Houses in Beijing are very expensive.
No money.
No money.
Uncle, Auntie, Uncle 3, and Aunt 3 all rushed out one after another. I turned to look at Muyang. I never expected he'd drive away those awful relatives without lifting a finger.
Why bother with them? Muyang's gentle voice sounded.
I suddenly snapped back to reality, realizing what I had just done, losing my mind. I completely lost my composure, and instantly felt embarrassed. I quickly put the broom back in its place.
Muyang, sorry you had to see that. My older brother and younger brother, they were just like that, never saying a word. The father apologizes helplessly to Mu Yang.
Nowadays, we live under the rule of law, where you can't rely on reason or personal connections, you have to rely on the law.
Things like what happened today used to happen every few days.
Especially when Grandma was still alive, she forced me to support them. Uncle number 1 and Uncle number 3 said they had to raise their sons. It's hard to raise a Sioux family boy. Raising me, a useless girl, was worthless.
But my parents always cared about family ties. They didn't want to fall out, so they just got more shameless.
For that reason, I secretly made up my mind from a young age to study hard, to succeed, and bring my parents to the city to live a comfortable life, far away from these so-called relatives. A bunch of monsters.
No.
Mu Yang smiled and shook his head. His eyes even showed some sympathy towards me. I could only laugh awkwardly. I also imagined a dignified life, but reality wouldn't allow it. After those awful relatives were driven out, at this moment, only our family and Mu Yang, 4 people, were left in the house. It was much quieter.
After Mom cleared the dishes and went into the kitchen, she fried 2 more dishes to go with the drinks. Mu Yang and my dad kept drinking, and since I was in a bad mood, I sat aside and texted Jing Jing about what just happened. Jing Jing reacted even more strongly than I did.
How can you put up with that?
I can't. I already kicked them all out.
If you can't get rid of them, let my cousin handle it. Worst case, we pay some medical fees.
No, with their character, they'll extort my family or Mu Yang. I'm just thinking of buying a house quickly, and bringing my parents to live with me. That's more practical.
Why bother buying a house? My cousin lives alone in such a big villa. Can't he spare a place for your parents?
I couldn't help but laugh. Did you forget that your cousin is my fake boyfriend?
Then make it real. What's the problem? I don't mind you being my sister-in-law. Do you mind me being your sister-in-law?
I was speechless. Where did that come from? Mu Yang and my dad really hit it off. They seemed to regret not meeting sooner, and with the alcohol, they even started calling each other brothers. I heard my dad start telling Mu Yang stories about my childhood, and I immediately had a bad feeling, so I quickly stopped him and said, "Dad, you've had too much to drink, stop drinking."
I'm not even drunk. I could have another bottle, no problem.
Don't talk nonsense in front of Mu Yang. You could have another bottle and still not get drunk, but Mu Yang's already had too much.
And it's late now, time to rest, we can continue tomorrow. Mom came over to persuade.
It's settled, we'll pick up again tomorrow.
Dad patted Mu Yang on the shoulder and said with a slur, then went into the bedroom with Mom's help. Sure enough, Mom knows Dad best. She knows how to get him to look away. Then I saw Mu Yang smiling at me, the kind of silly drunk smile. I was totally embarrassed, so I had to brace myself and tell Mu Yang it's getting late, maybe we should turn in first. Luckily, Mu Yang followed along cooperatively. Mom knew I was bringing my boyfriend home this time, so she had already prepared a bedroom, right next to mine. I took Mu Yang to his room, and hesitantly asked if he'd be okay alone. Mu Yang looked at me and smiled, and I realized what I'd said could be misunderstood, so I awkwardly explained, "I mean, you've had a lot to drink tonight, are you okay?"
I'm fine.
"You should get some rest, I won't bother you anymore," I said, turned around, walked out of the bedroom, and closed the door. I went back to my room, and the first thing I did was call Jing Jing, to ask her what I should expect from her cousin after he got drunk, and what I should watch out for. After all, Jing Jing was so trusting to leave her cousin with me, so I had to take full responsibility. At least until we went back, I had to make sure he was safe.
Mu Yang got drunk.
Jing Jing was extremely surprised. "Yeah, it's those awful relatives from tonight, and then my dad and I ended up drinking a lot like old buddies. I'm a bit worried now."
Don't worry, my cousin handles his liquor well. Even when drunk, he won't misbehave. You don't have to worry about him using alcohol to take advantage of you. But if you take advantage of the situation, that's not covered by my guarantee.
I'm being serious with you. I couldn't help but roll my eyes.
I'm being serious too. My cousin is still single, you know.
With your cousin's qualities, he's still single. Is it because the person he likes is special? I asked hesitantly.
Special?
Jing Jing asked, confused.
Like, does he like guys?
On the other end of the phone, Jing Jing burst into laughter.
You can rest 100% assured. My cousin is as straight as an arrow straight guy.
It's not like it matters to me. I'm just gossiping.
I mean, if you're interested in my cousin, if you have the chance, go for it. If not, create the chance. Anyway, since he's already at your place, if you want to take things further, I wouldn't mind.
Jing Jing said, enjoying the drama. Get out. Get out. Get out. That's getting more ridiculous. After chatting with Jing Jing a bit more, I hung up. Still worried about Mu Yang, who had drunk too much. I thought about going to the kitchen to make him some hangover soup or something to drink. But besides cooking rice and instant noodles, I'm clueless about stir-frying or making soup. In the end, I just went to the kitchen, searched on my phone how to make hangover soup, and tried to copy it, cooking a pot. Mom heard the noise and came over to ask if I was hungry. I said I was making hangover soup, and I'd bring a bowl for Dad later. But my mom took one look and said with disdain,
"I thought you were being ambitious, cooking pig slop in the middle of the night."
"Mom, don't judge it by how it looks. It actually tastes good. Drink a bowl and your head won't hurt tomorrow. Take a bowl to Dad for me," I bragged and recommended. After saying that, I ladled out 1.5 bowls, and forced one into Mom's hands, then filled another bowl to take to Muyang. Arriving at the door, I knocked. No response. Knocked twice more, and waited quietly. I thought he wouldn't open the door again, probably already asleep. So, I decided not to disturb him. But just as I was about to turn and leave, the door opened. I looked up, and saw Muyang, fresh out of the shower, his hair still wet, his clothes not properly put on. He had a casual, sexy vibe. But is this something I should be seeing? I was instantly embarrassed, quickly averted my gaze, and handed him the hangover soup. I made you some hangover soup, drink it while it's hot, and then get some sleep. Good night. Muyang took the bowl, and asked me,
I'm going to video call my family later. Do you want to meet them?
I thought I misheard, and turned to look at Muyang.
Meeting them in advance, so it's less awkward when we meet later.
Muyang explained with a smile. That's true. I responded with a forced smile, but I wasn't prepared at all. What if I mess up?
You won't. Just tell them the truth. Come in.
After saying that, Muyang stepped aside, and let me into the room. Walking into Muyang's bedroom, my heart suddenly raced. This is my home, but at this moment, I feel like I've stumbled into Muyang's world.
Take a seat, let me finish this soup first.
After saying that, Muyang drank the hangover soup, and I had to sit down on the chair in front of the desk. This room is bigger than my current bedroom. I used to sleep in this room, but because it gets too much sun, it's especially hot in the summer, so later I moved to the room next door, and this room became a study. After Muyang finished the hangover soup, he video chatted with his family, because it was daytime for his parents. Muyang placed his phone on the desk, leaning it against some books, so the camera could capture both of us, and I could also see Muyang's family. Muyang's parents looked very old. Muyang had mentioned
he was the youngest child in his family. His parents had him after they turned 40, so they're relatively old.
Facing Muyang's parents, I answered almost every question they asked, and even talked a bit too much, because Muyang's parents seemed very easygoing. In the end, I even invited them to visit my hometown sometime, and couldn't help recommending its beautiful scenery. After the video ended, I only then realized that I had forgotten my role. Turning awkwardly to look at Muyang, sorry, I seem to have forgotten my identity just now.
It's okay, better to be real.
Muyang smiled and comforted me.
It's late. You should get some rest too.
Good night. I nodded with annoyance, and forced myself to get up and walk toward the door. After returning to my bedroom, I was still a bit frustrated. After all, Muyang did very well coming to my house, but I messed up even the video call with his parents. But frustration aside, I still slept well on my first night back home. After all, I had exhausted myself today. The next day, I woke up naturally, and it was already after 10. I thought I had misread the time. After changing clothes and washing up, I walked into the living room, but no one was there. I didn't know if Muyang was still sleeping. My parents must have gone out to work at this hour. I walked to the yard, and saw my mom feeding the chickens. Mom, why didn't you wake me up? Bass. After all, once it passed 8 o'clock, my mom would definitely wake me up, even on weekends.
You think I didn't want to wake you? Muyang said you were too tired, so let you sleep in. My mom gave me a look of disdain.
Oh. I responded, then it hit me that something was off. How did Muyang know I was tired? He didn't exercise less than me yesterday, so why isn't he tired? And he can still get up early. Where's Muyang?
He went out with your dad to do New Year's shopping.
I almost thought I misheard.
We were going to have you go, but who knew you'd sleep like a log? Completely dead to the world.
My mom griped. Then she changed the subject, and lowered her voice to caution.
Don't say I didn't warn you. No matter how close you and Muyang are, you're not married yet, so you still need to be careful, otherwise a baby bump at the wedding wouldn't look good.
I was totally embarrassed. Where did that come from? Mom, what are you talking about? Oh my god. I haven't been shy in forever, and now I'm blushing.
You went into Muyang's room yesterday, don't think I didn't know. Anyway, just be careful. Go feed the ducks, I'll pick some vegetables to cook.
My mom shoved a bowl of duck feed into my hands, and left to pick vegetables. I looked down at the Chanel suit already stained with duck poop, and I almost cried, but I didn't dare complain, because complaining would only invite my mother's even harsher criticism. If my mom could use even half that energy on those awful relatives, our family wouldn't have been bullied like that. I sighed helplessly. After feeding the ducks, I called Muyang. My dad answered, saying Muyang was busy and couldn't come to the phone. What's he doing? I wondered.
He's fixing your great-uncle's tractor, my dad replied on the other end.
I was stunned for a second, then burst out laughing. I never thought Muyang would actually be treated as a repairman. Does he even know how?
Muyang asked me to tell you, he can even fix airplanes, he says.
Yeah, right, he's just bragging. Dad, weren't you going to buy New Year supplies?
I was, but I ran into your great-uncle and helped fix the tractor first. I'll go later.
I had to go check it out. I didn't expect Muyang to actually fix the tractor. He just drove it away. Watching Muyang in his neat clothes, but sitting on that tractor, looking so out of place, that image still makes me laugh every time I think about it. After the tractor was fixed, great-uncle was really happy, and even offered Muyang red eggs. Muyang asked me if this meant he passed the test. I laughed and said I didn't know if his performance was up to standard, but he definitely passed Uncle's test. Uncle is the oldest and most respected elder in our clan, and that's saying something. So for any family matters, we basically need Uncle's nod before moving forward. After we fixed Uncle's tractor, we went to buy New Year goods. Actually, we already had most things prepared at home, so it was more like taking Moyang to the county town to join the fun. And since I hadn't been back for 2 spring festivals, the market felt fun and new to me too. Everything looked interesting and delicious. Moyang was probably also experiencing the market for the first time.
And found everything fascinating. We strolled through the market like buddies, and ate a lot of snacks.
Moyang happily told my dad he wanted to come again. I was instantly speechless, meaning I still wouldn't have a boyfriend next year, and would have to rent him again. The New Year's Eve dinner was rare for us to have such warmth and harmony, unlike before, when the pressure to marry would cause chaos, and we'd part on bad terms. Moyang charmed my parents so much that I secretly decided, if Moyang still doesn't have a girlfriend next year, I'll rent him again. Even if I had to pay, it's such a great value. As for the year after next, we'll worry about that later. But tonight, Moyang really had too much to drink. The night before last, he only seemed drunk, but tonight he was truly drunk, because he actually discussed the bride price with my parents.
No need for bride price, the most important thing is that you two are in love. My dad said with a beaming smile.
The way he was, he almost wanted to pack me up and give me to Moyang. Why would we need any bride price?
We should still give some bride price as a token, just follow the tradition. In the end, it will be returned to you anyway.
My mom was more sensible. After all, she hadn't been drinking. I was so embarrassed I wanted to hide under the table. What's all this?
Mo, what do you think?
Moyang looked at me with a smile. I was stunned for a moment, staring blankly at Moyang, and I couldn't help thinking, what opinion could I have? It's not even real. But I still forced myself to play along and replied, it's just a formality, that's all, just follow the custom.
Alright, uncle and aunt, then let's follow your customs. The bride price doesn't need to be returned. It's originally a dowry to honor you both. Just a token will do. We already have the house, car, and renovations.
That good father laughed so hard his wrinkles showed. Moyang picked up his wine glass, and said to my dad and mom with sincerity,
Uncle and aunt, rest assured, entrust Mo to me. I will treat him well, and won't let him suffer any grievance.
I was moved by it, almost forgot who I really was, and started nodding along. But soon I became depressed. Given Moyang's performance like this, if next year he can't keep helping me, where would I find a boyfriend as good as Moyang? I couldn't help but sigh. The next second I realized everyone's eyes were on me. I was so embarrassed, and explained with a smile, I have no objections, I'm just too full.
Do you want a Chinese wedding or a Western one?
Moyang looked at me and asked. I was completely stunned. Moyang is playing with fire. After the spring festival, he'll just leave and have nothing to do with it. But I'll be the one in trouble. Then where will I find a son-in-law to explain to my parents? And one as excellent as Moyang.
Otherwise, let's have a Western-style wedding at our place, and a Chinese-style one at your parents' place.
Moyang continued. Moyang, have some more soup. I quickly served Moyang a bowl of soup, hoping to sober him up. My lord, if you keep talking nonsense, I'll be in big trouble. We finally finished the New Year's Eve dinner, and my parents are in the living room watching the Spring Festival gala and staying up, while Moyang and I are in the yard setting off firecrackers. More precisely, I'm letting Moyang get some fresh air, sober up a bit, otherwise, who knows what he'll do later tonight. Moyang, you're doing great, but just take it easy, otherwise if my parents find out we're fake, they'll skin me alive. I pleaded pitifully with Moyang. I'm starting to regret asking Moyang to pretend to be my boyfriend, because it's getting harder to control.
If you want, we can make it real.
Moyang looked at me, and answered sincerely. I looked at him, and after a few seconds, I burst out laughing. You really are drunk.
I'm not drunk.
Drunk people always say they're not drunk, I get it. Moyang didn't argue.
And looking at the fireworks in the distance, said, I saw you at my cousin's house last year, do you remember?
I was confused, I don't remember you at all.
I knew you'd forgotten everything, otherwise you wouldn't have looked at me like I was a complete stranger.
Sorry, I'm a bit face-blind, I explained awkwardly. But logically speaking, I should have remembered a handsome guy like that.
Everyone was playing that day, only you were helping me out.
Maybe it's because I didn't know how to play what they were playing. I cautiously reminded him, because Jinjing's family likes mahjong, but I don't know how to play.
Really? But I still fell in love with you at first sight.
Moyang replied with a smile. I thought I misheard, and looked at Moyang in shock.
I still remember you wearing a lemon yellow sweater that day, with a white skirt, very beautiful.
Is it possible you mistook me, and remembered another girl as me?
No, I have a good memory, and I'm not wild. Moyang shook his head with a smile.
I gradually blushed, because Moyang didn't seem to be joking.
Mo, I've liked you for a long time, you just didn't know.
Moyang added. The next second, even I, with skin thicker than a city wall, actually got shy, and then did something I later wished I could bang my head against the wall for. I, while shouting in disbelief, flapped back to my bedroom like a duck, closed the door, unable to face it. And I heard my parents exclaim, Xiao Mo, did she take the wrong pills? I don't know if I took the wrong pills, but my heart was pounding so fast it felt like it would burst out of my chest. Later, I still thought Mu Yang was joking with me, or maybe he had some ulterior motive, so I called Jinjing. Jinjing, tell me honestly, is there something wrong with your cousin? I asked sternly.
What's wrong?
Jinjing was confused by my question.
My cousin is perfectly healthy.
He told me tonight that he fell in love with me at first sight, that he's liked me for a long time.
Then I heard Jinjing on the other end of the line,
Laughing like crazy. Can you stop laughing? I'm being serious here.
Shumo, actually, I told you a long time ago, I have a very talented cousin, and I wanted to introduce you to him, but you weren't interested. You said you only wanted your career, not a boyfriend, and you said all men are the same. You didn't want to get married at all, you just wanted to make money.
Jinjing explained. Don't tell me the cousin you wanted to introduce is Mu Yang. I frowned.
Yeah, he's the only unmarried cousin I have, and he's really great. If he were a loser, I wouldn't want to set you up with him. After spending these few days together, what do you think of my cousin? He's reliable, right? Has he got this old woman's heart fluttering?
You're the old woman.
You're the one who always says you're an old woman, not me. But my cousin doesn't mind that you're 3 years older than him. Just take him.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm done talking to you. I finished speaking, not waiting for Jinjing to reply, and hung up directly. I originally wanted to ask Jinjing what was going on, now great. After asking, my heart is even more confused. I hugged a pillow, wanted to be an ostrich. It's not that I can't accept Mu Yang, I'm afraid that if I accept, there will be no outcome in the end. I'm just afraid I won't be able to move on. A knock on the door sounded. Who is it? I asked a bit irritably. After asking, I felt stupid. Who else could it be at home besides my parents?
Auntie said it's almost 12, everyone's about to set off fireworks, and asked if you want to come out and watch.
Mu Yang asked softly from outside the door. Fireworks haven't been banned here yet. So every New Year's Eve at midnight, every household sets off fireworks. It's spectacular and lively. I'll just wrap my scarf and come out. I had to make an excuse. After dawdling for a bit, I grabbed a red scarf and wrapped it around me. Walking out of the bedroom, I didn't expect Mu Yang was still waiting at the door. My face instantly flushed. I didn't even have the courage to look at Mu Yang. I never thought of myself as such a shy person, but now in front of Mu Yang, I'm like a girl with her first crush, just like a young girl. Standing at the gate of the courtyard, watching one firework after another explode in the sky, lighting up the entire night sky, and blinding my eyes.
Want to make a New Year's wish?
Mu Yang turned to look at me and asked. Fireworks aren't shooting stars, can you really make a wish on them? I said, a bit speechless.
Sincerity works wonders. Whether it's fireworks or shooting stars, it's the same.
Mu Yang said with a warm smile. Looking at Mu Yang's warm smile, I suddenly believed it a little. I crossed my hands and closed my eyes, silently making a wish in my heart. If it's not too much trouble, this year, could you give me a dream boyfriend? Someone like Mu Yang would be fine, I'm not picky. After making my wish, I lowered my hands, turned to look at Mu Yang,
and unexpectedly met his gaze. Completely unprepared.
I was instantly embarrassed.
I quickly looked away, and then I heard Mu Yang ask with a hint of a smile, Shumo, wanna give it a try?
Try what? I was stunned for a moment, then played dumb and mumbled a reply. I'd never been so nervous about him before. Mu Yang must be joking, but I was also afraid he wasn't.
Will you be my girlfriend?
I stared at Mu Yang in shock.
Even more unsure if he was joking or serious.
I quipped, that joke's not funny at all.
I'm serious. Will you be my girlfriend?
Mu Yang asked again.
And his voice actually sounded a little nervous.
Another firework exploded in the sky, just like how I felt at that moment, suddenly a dizzying burst. What's in it for me if I say yes? I still pretended to be calm and asked back.
You won't have to rent a fake boyfriend for New Year's anymore. I'll come back with you every year.
I rolled my eyes in exasperation, wishing he'd drop it. If my parents heard that, I'd be doomed. But before I could put on a stern face and scold him, I couldn't help but laugh first. If I say yes, then you won't have to pay me this time. I said half jokingly.
No need to pay, and I'll bring my own dowry.
Mu Yang suddenly took my hand and replied. Ha ha ha, I burst out laughing, saying Mu Yang doesn't get it, but he actually knows what a dowry is? Then again, doesn't he know the dowry comes from the bride's side? Unless he wants to be a live-in son-in-law. Faced with such an adorable and handsome Mu Yang, why not give it a try? Who's afraid of who? Who knew that over New Year's I'd end up with a great boyfriend for free?